Origin Unexplained.
Welcome back to Origin Unexplained. Today we're going to get into some real facts. So without any further ado, the human heart has its own neurons, literally a brain in the chest. Around 40,000 of them, this heart brain can sense, remember, and even make decisions independently from the head. In fact, the heart sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. When people say follow your heart, they might be more than right than science is even comfortable admitting. Stonehenge isn't aligned to our current North Pole, it's aligned to a different one. That's because the Earth's magnetic field has shifted repeatedly and ancient structures across the planet line up to poles that no longer exist. From the pyramids to Teotihuacan, I can never say that word, guys. It's as if our ancestors were tracking something we forgot because someone told us to forget. Hollow Earth was never just a fantasy. In the early 1900s, Admiral Richard Byrd reported flying beyond the South Pole into what he described as a lush green land with mammoth-like creatures. That journal disappeared fast, and he was silenced just as quickly. Meanwhile, satellite images of Antarctica continue to be blurred or blacked out, especially around the so-called entrances. Somebody's hiding something. Your body emits a photon glow that pulses with your emotions. It's ultra-weak bioluminescence, invisible to the naked eye, but measurable with sensitive equipment. When you feel love, fear, or even deception, your light pattern shifts. This isn't just woo. This is measurable bioenergetics. You don't just have a vibe, you actually glow. Wouldn't that be called aura? There are official documented cases of people surviving without food for decades. Take Prahlad Jani, an Indian yogi who claimed to live without eating or drinking anything for over 70 years. In 2010, he was observed under 24-hour surveillance by doctors for 15 days. No food, no water, no bathroom, no weight loss. Science said it was impossible, but they couldn't explain what they saw, and so they buried the report and walked away. Humans can hear infrasound, but only with our bodies. Frequencies below 20 hertz aren't picked up by the ears, but they vibrate internal organs, trigger nausea, and even produce hallucinations. Military-grade crowd control uses it, so does nature during earthquakes or stampedes. Haunted houses? Often just infrasound. Makes you wonder what's playing just below your hearing range right now. There's a cave system beneath the United States so vast it's mostly unmapped. Mammoth Cave in Kentucky is just one entrance, but the tunnel network stretches through Missouri, Tennessee, and as far as New Mexico. Native tribes say beings live in the deep zones, and modern explorers have reported vanishing gear, missing time, and voices in pitch blackness. You think you know or we know what's under our feet? We barely scratched the surface. Spontaneous human combustion is still unexplained. Cases exist where people burn to ash with no external fire source, no flammable accelerant, and sometimes without damaging nearby furniture. Theories range from internal chemical reactions to electromagnetic interference, but no one's figured it out. Just another page in the "We'll get back to you" file of modern science. Animals flee before earthquakes. They do it before the tremors hit. Dogs bark, birds scatter, and even underground creatures burst out of the ground hours ahead of the shaking. That means they're sensing something we don't. Either we've dulled a sense we once had, or they turned into a frequency, or tuned into a frequency humans have lost access to. Either way, nature's warnings are ignored at our own risk. The CIA once ran an operation called Acoustic Kitty. They surgically implanted a microphone transmitter and an antenna into a real cat to use it as a spy during the Cold War. The plan, well, train the cat to eavesdrop on conversations near embassies. The project cost millions and failed when the first cat was hit by a taxi within minutes of release. The program was scrapped, but the mindset, well, still very much alive. The idea that living things can be turned into surveillance devices isn't science fiction. It's been funded since the 60s. The Sphinx shows signs of water erosion. Despite sitting in a desert for over 5,000 years, That would mean the Sphinx was carved during a time when the Sahara was lush and green, which was over 10,000 years ago. That predates dynastic Egypt by nearly twice the official timeline. Egyptologists dismiss it, but geologists who've studied the stone say the weathering patterns don't lie. We didn't build civilization. We inherited it. People struck by lightning often develop new abilities. Some wake up speaking different languages, others report sudden artistic or mathematical talent. It's called acquired savant syndrome. One man became a master pianist overnight, never having played before. That raises the question, is the human brain holding back information that only gets unlocked by trauma or electricity? What else is stored in us that we never access? The Great Pyramid of Giza is not a tomb. There's no mummy, no inscriptions like in other Egyptian tombs, and no soot marks from torches because it was built to resonate. The king's chamber has an acoustic property so precise that sound waves bounce in standing waves. Tesla studied pyramids and believed they were energy devices. What if they're not monuments to death, but machines for life? There is a strange hum heard around the world, and no one can find the source. It's called the hum. It's been reported in places like Taos, New Mexico, and Bristol, England. It drives people to insomnia, headaches, even suicide. But microphones often can't pick it up, as it seems to be either geological or maybe atmospheric. The earth itself seems to be groaning. Others think it's mechanical, some hidden tech running in the background of our lives. During nuclear tests, cameras recorded more than just explosions. They captured objects in the sky. Declassified footage from the Nevada test site shows saucer-like craft appearing just before detonation, hovering and vanishing. It's as if something was watching, not to save us, but to monitor our stupidity. These sightings were frequent enough that military brass had a protocol. UFOs and nukes have always gone hand in hand. I find this next one most interesting. Your DNA isn't just human. Up to 8% of it is ancient viral code, leftovers from infections your ancestors survived thousands of years ago. These viral sequences can activate under stress or illness. That means part of your body is dormant. It's an archive of ancient disease, and it's not always asleep. Some researchers believe these pieces can be reawakened, even manipulated, and welcome to genetic memory. The Vatican has a telescope named Lucifer. Yes, really, it stands for Large Binocular Telescope Near Infrared Utility with Camera and Integral Field Unit for Extragalactic Research. It's operated on Mount Graham in Arizona, an area sacred to native tribes, and is used in part of deep space observation. Why is the Vatican watching the stars with a telescope named after the fallen one? You tell me. The Pentagon receives over $80 billion a year in black budget funding. That means we don't get to know where it goes. No oversight, no accountability. That's more money than GDP of most countries, funneling into unknown weapons, tech, and operations. When people scoff at secret underground bases, mind control programs, or reverse engineered craft, they are forgetting we literally fund them to keep secrets from us. There's evidence that the human pineal gland contains piezoelectric crystals. That means it might literally function like a biological antenna. Yeah, able to receive and emit electromagnetic energy. Ancient cultures believed the pineal was the seat of the soul. Today we treat it like a relic and bathe it in fluoride. Coincidence? Or a systematic attempt to turn off our built-in receiver? In 1977, a voice broke into a British television broadcast, claiming to be an interstellar being. It interrupted the news for 6 minutes. It was delivering a message about mankind's future, warning of war and misuse of technology. The voice identified itself as Vrilon of the Ashtar Galactic Command. Commander A. Authorities called it a hoax, but the signal override came from the outside and the normal broadcast frequencies even. To this day, no one's explained how it was done. Our ancestors didn't just map the stars. They carved them into stone with mathematical precision that we cannot replicate. Göbekli Tepe, built over 11,000 years ago, has celestial alignments and stonework far more advanced than its supposed era. Machu Picchu stones are cut so precisely that not even a razor fits between them. Who taught these people how to carve time into rock? Now here are some quicker ones. They told us the earth is solid, but drill down 8 miles and everything we know falls apart. Underneath Salt Lake City, there are tunnels so deep the government sealed them off with concrete twice. The Voynich manuscript isn't a puzzle, it's a lock without a key because the key was never from here. We're not afraid of the dark. We're afraid of what steps out of it when no one's looking. If you stand in the center of Coral Castle at 2 a.m., the compass spins. Ask anyone who's dared. They used to burn witches for knowing herbs. Now we pant in the same plants and call it science. Skinwalker Ranch isn't the only place. It's just the one they let you know about. The sun has flipped its poles more than 170 times. So why do we treat it like it's stable? You want to feel small? There's a hexagon on Saturn's North Pole big enough to swallow the Earth twice. My opinion? It's the entrance to the hollow planet. They laughed at Tesla while stealing every single one of his ideas. You think fluoride's for your teeth? Look deeper. It calcifies a part of your brain that sees beyond this world. Pineal. Beneath Antarctica, there's a land that isn't covered in ice, and satellite images of it mysteriously vanish. People don't disappear in national parks. They vanish from locked tents, though I've never seen a lock on a tent, with no footprints leading away or to it. Most people look for UFOs in the sky, but the smart ones, they look underground. There are places where clocks stop working and no one can explain why. Let's go back to the last one. Look underground. Every culture on Earth has a flood myth. That's not coincidence. That's memory. We built computers to serve us. Now they rewrite our thoughts, one algorithm at a time. Someone is always watching, but it's not always a person. You think you're awake, but how many of your choices were actually yours? There's a file on every single one of us, and no, you'll never see it. We spend trillions scanning space for life, while they walk among us undetected. MK Ultra didn't end. They just changed the name. The human body gives off light. We're just too blind to see it. Aura. Time isn't linear. It loops. You've been here before. Not every memory in your head is yours. Some are implanted by trauma, others by design. We've been taught to believe the world is mapped, measured, and mastered. But that's a lie wrapped in comfort, and only the weak like comfort. The truth is stranger, deeper, and louder than most are willing to admit. If any of this made your gut twist or your brain spark, good. If you're just rolling your eyes, I don't much care. That's the feeling of something waking up.
Time for the bloopers.
As lush green land with a mammoth-like creature. And mammoth-like creatures. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Damn, can't read today. Go back to Hollow Earth. Or sudden artistic or mathematical talent. I just read that. Fuck! Go back to after the Sphinx. Or actually just go back to people. That sound bounces in sounding waves. And I didn't fucking say that right. Good Lord. Go back to the Great Pyramid. These viral sequences I can't fucking read today. Go back to your DNA. No, it wasn't. No, it fucking wasn't. Go back to ancient. In 1977, a voice broke into British. Go back to 1977. Apparently, I cannot talk today. 1977, a voice broke into a British television broadcast. Back to 77. Our ancestors. Yeah, we have ancestors. Yep. Go back to our ancestors. The Moine. Go back. The key, because the key was never from here. And I can't read. I think it's due to lack of oxygen because I'm gasping in between sentences sometimes. Doesn't pay to be around cats when you're allergic to them.
Unexplained.